Okay, we're short at 78.75 here, looking for the market to hold under 76, which is a key algorithm right now. 48.76 to knock that price down to 74.50, but we've got a lot of rigor action today. They're trying to prop this market up. They've kind of lost ground up here at this key number up here. So the key now is to see if they can get that market down under 76 and hold that pressure under 76. And we're just looking for a move down to 74.50 if they can break that. But you can see them hovering now just above 76. Kind of some games going on here with 76, obviously. And uh-oh, everything's moving still, but prices are stalled here. I'm getting a stalled price. And just stay ready to jump out anytime. We're short at 78.75, watching for 76 to crack to take a little dive down under 76 to 74.5. But games are being played here, and we're not getting that smooth slide lower just yet. It's a little bit of a higher pressure move. We're trying to see if they can crack 76 and break them down. All right, games are being played as they try to reprop the market back up here. Hold short. We're still in a sell pattern, but it's in the context of a very strong ramped up market. So typical rigor action here. Typical rigor action. They got them down to 76. They broke the algo by a tick, and now they're going to try to rejam it back up. Hold short again. Let's see if it fails and they can slide right back. It might have been a spoof loading here of shorts. Hard to say. Hard to say right now. Stay ready to jump out. We're watching to see if it is a spoof loading, then they'll be back under 78 pretty soon, and they'll knock them back down under 77 fairly quickly. If not, then they'll hang up here and they'll try to rejam the upside. So stay ready to jump out here. Let's see if they can back them off again, back down to 77 or lower, and start rolling the price back. This is a heavily rigged market today by the riggers. Exit at the market. Exit at the market. Algorithmic change. Games being played here. They're not letting them go. They're just creating this whole phony jam on the upside here. Not much you can do. All right, so we had a crude oil crossover here. I was really busy with the NAS there. And 82 ran 73, just barely missed it here. So we do have a short at 82 if you were watching the crude. I mean, it's, classic dynamic trend bands under the filter. Pull back the signal. It's kind of a fat channel because they'd really swooped here, so I don't mind missing this because usually on crude you don't have to worry as much about the fat channels unless they're extreme. This would probably be defined as extreme because they sold off pretty strong. And they're probably going down to 72, but yeah, there they go. But so far, well, I just missed this one. I was busy with the NAS. And we got out that was 78, 75. Now, in hindsight, they did go down and give us 3 points, but it was setting up for a 5-point move. And we had a small loss there at 80 for minus 1.25. I still like the short side here, but they're not letting them go. The crude oil took that dive down. I wish I could have caught that. Doggone it. It's too bad. I just, I can't watch when I'm intensely got my finger on the trigger and watching one chart on the NAS. I did it yesterday. Actually recorded the trade. You can see it on my YouTube channel where I traded them both. They both set up. It was real stubborn short side trade, but they both set up, and luckily I got the recorder on, and then we got all of a sudden the crude set up and I was able to see it, but I just couldn't catch this one. And with a fast spike down like this, it becomes a little bit more speculative, but it was good to go. It had all the filters, everything ready to go, but that's the way it goes. I was really thinking we were going to break 76, and I couldn't take my eye off it to think about it, because I have to take my whole mindset and put it over on crude, whether to get in or not. So anyway, I still like the short side here, but the riggers are playing all kinds of games up here. Let's hit them again here and go short at the market. Going short at the market at 78, 78 quarter. We're going short at the market again. Hopefully it won't get, I'll try to keep the stop minimal, but we're going to look for a move down to 73. We're still looking for a 5-point move. Now the breaking of the algorithm will occur at 76 halves. So we're back to working that 76 number and watching to see if we can get that thing to crack 76. Now I'm not sure if they're going to let them break, but you can see we are getting a little color ink change here on the 450 ticks. So watching to see here if this thing's ready to crack. We'll be watching for 7 or lower to get going, and then a crack. Well, the algorithmic change will occur at 76.75, just slightly higher. So if we can break under 76.75, and the riggers aren't going to keep trying to prop the prices up, which they might do. We just have to face that. But so far there has been a shift that could potentially pull this thing back down here now. So let's see if we can get the thing to break down under 76 half and hold that price under 76 half. And start working the prices back lower after this ridiculously artificial ramp up, bringing that ES down, which is down 10 to 12 points in pre-market, all the way back up to being up at even here. So let's see if they can just do the normal thing, which is for the market to sell off some and take away 3 to 4 to 5 handles on the ES again. For us, we're just looking for a 5-handle pullback from short at 78 for a move down to 73. Let's see, we just broke the algo there at 76.75. So let's see if they can take a dive from here, and let's watch for 74 as a key number. If we get a hard, fast dive down to 74, we're going to cut the trade. If you want to move a limit there, that's okay, but really I would wait, because if they slow grind them lower here without any serious ramp ups back over 78, then there's a good chance he'll slow grind them down to 73. But just in case, they could take a dive here as well. It's important to note that they could get hit with some stronger selling here. So just watch for that. Let's see if they take a dive. Okay, watching for a hard dive. Still watch for a hard dive under 4 to cover up the short. We want 3, but if they take it, they really nail them here. 475 is the last low. If they nail 475 and slam it down under 4, go ahead and cover up the short. If you want to use a 4 limit, that's okay too. No problem. Let's see if they can hit them harder here. Slam this thing under 5 and drive that price down to 4 or lower, and we'll look to cover up the short. This should be good for a higher ticket of 4 to 5 point trade. Should be, but you know what? We're dealing with these riggers today who are really out of control. They're getting desperate. They're acting desperate is what they're doing. So let's see if this market, this natural sellers that we saw a lot of earlier today, can come back in and slam this thing down under 5 and work that price down under 4. And if we see a hard, fast dive here, breaking that last low of 475 um, down to under 4, we'll just close out the trade. So far, it's looking good for a move there. Got to watch that 375 to 4 very carefully. That's why I want to just cut the trade if we go down and hit 375 or 4. Market's scheduled for a move down to 350 at this point. Let's see if they can kick it in here. So we're going to, again, still watch for a hard dive under 4 to cover them up. If you see a 375 printer, a 4, you can use a 4 limit if you want. But I think 3 is in the cards. Even 3 to 350 is scheduled to be hit here. So just watch for that fast dive under 4, and we'll just cover them up. See if we get them here. Coming in on approaching a new low here, micro low. Let's see if we can take out 475 and blast them down to 4 or lower. The riggers know these numbers I've given you, and you can see they're propping them up on the cash markets to affect the mini NAS here. They don't trade this mini NAS. It's too small for them. They could just blow it up in about 2 clicks of a mouse, but they're working the cash markets, and it's affecting the exact mini NAS prices because the indexes are all connected. All right, watching for a blast under 4. Let's see if we can get them. They're scheduled to go down to 350. Let's see if the riggers are going to interfere with that or going to let them slide a little bit lower here, down under 475 was the last low. Let's see if we can take 475 out and crush them down to 4 or lower and get out of this trade here. We're short at 78 by 78 quarter. And they may come in here and try to grab this thing and re-ramp it back up, you know. You're dealing with some very crafty fellows known as the riggers, affectionately here in our room as the riggers. Been saying that for years. That's been my term for years. It's not that Donald Trump's copying me or anything, but if I ever run into him, I'll mention that to him. Anyway, just kidding, just kidding. A lot of rigger talk nowadays. Rigged markets, rigged elections, rigger. Let's see if we can nail them here. Come on. Where's all the sellers? They were in spades this morning. They're everywhere this morning, just hammering the market. And our pals brought it back up here. Let's see if we can jam it down under 4 here. 475 lot. Watching for a new low, 475 to break. Crack them down under 4. It's scheduled to run 350, but they may try to block it. So let's see if we can get 475 to break and a hard dive under 4. 375 printer 4 to just cover them up. If you want to use a 4 limit, that's okay too, if it makes it easier for you to trade them that way. But I think we're going to get a hard dive under 4, and then I'm going to hit my close button. But if you want to use, like I said, a 4 limit, go ahead. Let's see if we can just break this 475 down. They know these numbers just like I'm showing you here, and you can see there's little propping games going on here. Let's see if they can blast it down lower. 350 is scheduled, but they may try to block it here. And Lord knows they may grab the thing and just slam it back up to 8 again. So we've got to be careful. Let's see if we can nail it. There should be selling pressure coming in here. Strong selling pressure should be coming in here. And it's not, so I'm immediately getting suspicious. Immediately getting suspicious. There should be strong selling pressure coming in on that 475 break, but you see how it's just sort of dibble-dabbling and now kind of pushing higher here. Let's be careful, but let's be ready to hold out a little longer. I think they're going to nail them down under 4, so we got to try to go for it. It's always a challenge, but that's part of what we do here in the room in the trading. Okay, stay ready. There it is. There's 4 coming in. Watch for 350, but nail them right there. Exit at the market for 375. That's fine. I gave you that 4 instruction. That's good. We have to do that because of auto trade. It's a little harder for them to follow if they smash them down through a price. It's a little harder. Auto trade's got to be a little more mechanical. So that's why I give you that instruction. But there was that 3 number we wanted. They hit them right there at 3, just like we actually went 250. And there was that dive right in that candle there. Did exactly what we said, diving under the filter number 1 there. And now, who knows? They might support him a little and try to lift him back up. But great job, you guys. As always, really appreciate it. Mason, excellent. And a good job if you're brave enough to hold out for that, because top and bottom fishing is not hard. Well, it's not easy because it's just higher risk is what it is. And last thing we need is more pressure. So we use 74 as our exit because of that instruction I gave on the limit, plus 4 points. So that puts it 0. We had 2 trades earlier. So great job. We'll watch, see what the next trade brings. We'll see which way the mop flops here. Again, we're back on the short side at 5, and we're looking for 350 to hold lower to bust 250 and knock them down to our target at 2. So we're short at 5, and we're watching to see if we can knock them down. It's a little bit of a challenge here because there is a support number, a key support number down there at 350 to 3. So I'm just watching to see if they can break 3, bust 3, bust 250, and knock them down to 72. Let's hold out for it. Let's try to hold out. We can just stop out if we have to, but I think the pressures, and I think there's enough selling pressure to come in here and knock this thing down under 250 and give us that 5 action. I mean that 2 action. They're trying for a little reversal here. Let's give it a second here. Let's try it again to get them going back under 350, and let's see if we can get that pressure going under 350 again. The riggers aren't going to give up that easy here. Short at 450 to we're short at 5, and we're looking for 2. Short at 5, looking for 2, and no big deal here. Maybe you had a little slippage on that trade. It's no big deal. Let's see if we can keep that pressure on under 350. That's going to be the real secret here. Unfortunately, they're kind of flipping back, not exactly letting them go as planned. Unfortunately, they just couldn't really kick them under 350. They got 3 going, and now they're trying to flip them back up. These stupid riggers, they just can't. They just can't let them go here. I still think the pressure's on for a move to 2. Let's try to hold out. Stay ready to jump out. They've got to hold under 650. If they go pushing them back up there, then we got a problem, and it's just the riggers, can't seem to want to let them go. Short at 5, watching 650 for an exit, and watching for them to get that pressure down under this market again. In hindsight, they ran them down to 3. I think it was 3 even. I can't even take my finger off the trigger just now. I got to see if they can roll them back here. Crude oil selling off. Maybe that'll kick the markets lower here. I don't know. Could. Not watching crude that carefully because I got all my eyes on one chart on this thing in my micro chart. 275. Can watch for 2. Still watching for him to bust 250 and knock him down to 2 even. I'm trying to hold out for 3 points on this deal here. Watching for him to knock 250 down. The crude's selling off, so they're getting a little pressure on the U.S. stock indexes here. Let's see if we can knock them down. They should be good for a move at least to 2. Probably a lot lower. They may go down, hit 2, and then crack. But I'm just watching for them to bust 250 and dip down there to 2. What's the big deal here? Let's see if they can do it. 275, two half, two quarter. Exit at the market right there. Exit right there. 250, 250, two quarter, two quarter, 175. So you should have got that. If you were a little slow, you might have got the two we wanted. Otherwise, you should have got two quarter on that deal. So I'll use two quarter, five short, and covering them up at two quarter to 250. So plus 275 to 250 on that deal. Let me get my attention over here on crude oil. We got the dynamic trend bands here. Oh, this is such a weird looking. I hate to. We got a trade set up here at 64 short, but it's a really weird looking market here. There it is, 64 short uncrude, 64 short uncrude right there. You see 64, we hit them. So we're okay, 64. Where's my things are way up here. 64 short, target 54. 64 short on crude, target 54. 64, 74, 78 is the official stop. Let's see if we can bust it. We're short at 64 on the crude on a snap back to that price. So watching for 64 to jump down to 54. I'm going to spread this chart. It's a weird pattern here, but we do have the matching dynamic trend bands. Let's see if we can knock that price down. I might clip it early, but overall we just got to hold for 54. Here we go. Watching for a smooth move, ideally down, right down to nail 54 for us. 57 coming in. 57. Let's see if we can smash them a little lower down to 54, lower. 6,655 and 54. Let's go. A little more pressure. A little more pressure. 54. There it is. And we got 54. So crude oil short at you see again matching sell channel, matching dynamic trend bands, pull back to 64. I saw it happen here, but they snap back. That's okay. Get back in the entry. We've done that. It's no big deal. 64, 54 plus 10 ticks. Plus 275 so far on the mini NAS on four trades. Trying to keep everything just reduced. I got a new approach I'm using to reduce the trades. You might have noticed that. I'm working on this stuff you guys, I work on this stuff every day and night. It's like the markets, you don't get a pat method and then you just, go on vacation. I mean, with boomerang, it can tend to be like that, but when you're doing like, in addition to the boomerang crude, which we're going to eventually try to morph over to just kind of focusing on that. I'm doing the crudes, and I got a method that you see me do today where I'm reducing trades on the NAS, not only so I can have more attention to work the crude oil trades, but just to try to cut our overall trades back. For those in the room who are taking them all on a personal discretionary basis, but with work and auto trade, they're going to be actually two. If you want to auto trade for crude oil, that's one account. Then for mini NAS, it's a separate, not necessarily a trading account, but a separate subscription. But so far, so good. Building up a nice track record, and just the ideas. Like anything, it's like you don't open your pizza shop that you just put the ovens in and you're testing it out, and they're heating up nice, everything's working. You're not going to sell 100 pizzas that day. You're just getting your ovens tested. And the delivery guys, you got the apps in for them. You've hired a couple of them. They look good. They've got experience. The dough's being delivered. You got an expert pizza guy who's done a lot of pizza cooking. He's in there flapping the dough, getting everything ready. You're not really expecting the phone's ring. You haven't run any ads yet. You see what I mean? But check back with that guy in 6 months. I mean, that's going to be one busy pizza parlor if he does the right things. People love pizza in America, so all over the world, but especially in America. So you just got to put it out there. It's not rocket science, really. All right, watching for a short back into the bias here. 275 to 3. We're going to take a chance and short back into the bias at approximately 3. 3. Watching for 3 to go short. 3 or higher to go short. Watching for a jump above 3 or higher here to go short. I'll call the exact signal here. 3.25 is probably where we want to nail him if we get it. Watch for 3.25 to go short, to trade back into the bias here. Hopefully they won't whipsaw the trade. I think they're going to let him slide here. So let's try to get 3.25 on the short side. You can stick a limit in there if you want, but I'll just call it out. Maybe they jump him up here to 4. I don't know. But the number I've got is 3.25 to go short. Should be a little reversal here. Let's see if we get him. Trying to get 3.25 to go short. No cigar yet, unfortunately. Got the flat filters up there on the 450 tick chart. All I need is a little higher price. I thought we were going to get that 3.25. I thought for sure we are going to get it, but no cigar. Stay ready here. Let's see if we can jump them up over 3.25. We'll put on a short if we get them. We're trading back into the bias, the sell bias here. Here we go. They're going to pop them, I think. I hope. 3.25 or better. We want to go short. Oh, they should get a little run up here. 3.25 or higher, want to short them. They went 3. Or they went, oh, did they hit 3.25? Yeah, they did. They hit 3.25. Some of you might be short. I said 3.25. I said 3.25. I said watch for that price. So we're going to take that trade. If you missed it because I didn't call it out live, don't worry about it. But I said 3.25. So if you had your limit in there, you got filled. So we're gonna record that as a trade here. And let's see, we get 3.25 running down to 70.25. 3.25 running down to where's all my lines when I need them here? Okay, yellow line's the exit, 70.25. If you didn't get the trade, don't worry about it. I usually call them out live, but I said over and over 3.25, and they went 3.25, traded through it, or they traded at it. So I've just got to accommodate our traders that are short because the thing's going away from it. Watching for 70.25. There it is, 70.25, 70 even. So we're out there for 3 points. 3.25, 70.25 plus 3 points. If you didn't make the trade, don't worry about it. It's no big deal, but I had to follow it because many of you put a limit in there at 3, 3.25. Some of you front run me by a tick or two. Nothing wrong with that. So it was a legit trade there. So our last 3 trades, we had +4 on that 78 short down to 74, and then trade number 4, shorting 5, reshorting the sell side at 5. For a move to 2.25 for 275, and then trade number 5 there, shorting 3.25 on the limit for a move down to 70.25 for plus 3 points. So grand total of 4, 5, 6, 975 on those 3 trades.